In an unprecedented move, the German central bank decided to put a halt to two upcoming silver coin releases. I'll explain what happened and why in this video as we explore. You might be asking why there are Canadian silver coins on the screen when this is a video about German silver coins. I'll answer that question in a moment. I want to thank Summit Metals for sponsoring the channel. For a wide selection of silver products, check them out in the link in the description below for excellent customer service and fast shipping. I'm going to be referencing a couple of pieces. I want to thank several who have sent me information about this. The German Finance Ministry has halted the release of two silver coins after a surge in metal prices made minting them uneconomical. The decision marks a cautious pause in a decades-long tradition that celebrates German culture and innovation. Now, much like the United States Mint and many mints around the world, they mint silver coins in commemoration of events or parts of German history. And, this is not uncommon. It's something that happens a lot, but these are a little different than your normal, typical commemorative coins. Because they are issuing higher face values. Germany's much-loved silver collector coins are facing a bit of an existential crisis. The Bundesbank confirmed that two upcoming issues, a 25 euro and 20 euro coin, have been postponed by the Federal Ministry of Finance due to the soaring cost of silver. That's right. A Gray Sheet also reports on this, and they're saying here that the price of silver has forced the German central bank in Münze, Deutschland, the official distributor of collector coins and commemorative coins of the Federal Republic of Germany, to delay indefinitely the issue of two forthcoming commemorative coins. In identical statements issued on October 17th, they said that due to the price of silver rising so much, the last issue of 2025 and the first of 2026 are on hold. As a result of the 65% rise in the price of silver since the start of 2025, the metal value of the German 20 euro and 25 euro silver coins is now significantly higher than the respective face values. That's quite a quandary. And that's part of the reason why I'm showing these coins in front of you, because I don't have any of the German versions to show you. Now, the coins specifically that we're talking about here are the 25 euro Christmas collector coins, Three Kings with an original issue date of November 20th, 2025, and the 20 euro coin marking the 125th anniversary of the Wuppertal Suspension Railway. And that would be issued on January the 22nd, 2026. They will not be issued on the planned dates. But here is why. Well, the specification of the coins tells the tale of the tape. There are 22 grams of 999 fine silver, or $34.31 as of October the 24th for the 25 euro, and 18 grams of the 925, $25.89 for the 20 euro coin. So essentially, these are face value coins where you could buy them for pretty close to the issue price. Hence why I'm showing you these Canadian coins. Over a decade ago, they started producing these 20 for 20 series, which became a pretty big hit because they were actually legal tender in Canada. Of course, it did create problems for banks around Canada, and they eventually stopped accepting them for payment. And the Royal Mint did the same thing, and that created quite a controversy because I think even to this day, they can be used as money and have been. And so it is quite intriguing and amazing to see, but nonetheless, with the market moving as dramatically as it has caused quite a quandary. And of course, even now today, $20 for one of these for about a quarter ounce of silver, well, you're still turning a profit, essentially. In other words, there's the value of the silver is greater than the denomination that are on that is less than the denomination on these. In other words, 20 times 4 would be 80. So this is you could still use these today. The Canadians did it right, essentially, by making a whole lot of money by charging you $20 Of course, that's $20 Canadian. Of course, the price of silver is much closer to $80 there than it is here. But nonetheless, trading probably, I think, around in the 60s range now. But still, they went a step further and and they did a 25 for 25 series. Same amount of silver, by the way, in this coin. But nonetheless, it is fascinating to see how successful this series was, at least for a while. Of course, they've done other coins as well, too, that have much lower denominations, and about a half ounce of silver for some of these coins. This is a $10 coin with twice the weight of that, but nonetheless, they produce these kinds of coins every year, usually with lower denominations, much lower than the value of the price of silver, because they don't want you spending these. Germany does not have its own bullion coin, by the way. Much like here in the United States, we've got the American Silver Eagle, which is 1 ounce of fine silver for $1. And also, the Royal Mint has many different bullion coins out there, obviously with 2 pounds denomination, but that's way more than 2 pounds worth of silver in their coins. So it's intriguing, but a controversial series all nonetheless. But it kind of surprised me that the central bank, the Bundesbank of Germany, is issuing these coins with such high denominations, essentially, that could be used, even though they're commemorative coins, proof-like quality, being sold. The bank added that it is exploring options for issuing the coins later on, possibly by adjusting the parameters, including the metal content if necessary. The German Mint's issues policy differs in a manner more favorable collectors than many other world mints. Uncirculated ones are sold at face value at branches at the Deutsche Bundesbank, while available, which in modern times still results in a respectable profit. At the current silver price, the profit has been wiped out. The selling price this year for proof versions for the 20 euros are about 42 euros or 43 euros. Germany has recently issued 1 25 and 4 20 euro coins annually. Mintage figures from 2024 show them over 250,000 proofs and between 2 and 3 million in uncirculated. So the uncirculated versions of these essentially could be spent. So that's quite intriguing, and it gives you an idea of what we're dealing with here with the face value. Face value, by the way, when you look at it as a lesson, it just shows you that, it's the metal content itself, the intrinsic value, that makes all the difference in the world. And so that's what's happening here in Germany. And so they decided they better do something about this, and they're stopping it. And so now, with the price of silver going up, what about the ones that are already in circulation? And most of the uncirculated versions probably are not being spent and being collected still for a decent price. But still, I guess technically they could. But I don't know if they do or they would be spent, because this article doesn't really go into any detail about the actual issuance, much unlike what happened in the United Kingdom and in Canada, when people were actually going into the banks and trying to cash these in, or going and buying fuel with your silver coins. So legal tender, nonetheless, based off the crown, and so that's very fascinating indeed. This series is now stopped. I have all of the issues of this series in another portfolio. I'm just showing you some examples of them right here. But nonetheless, the Royal Canadian Mint is a master at marketing and also at production and quality and craftsmanship for some of these pieces. Very, very well done. Various different themes, holiday themes, sports themes, all kinds of different things that are out there, which is kind of reminiscent of what the German Mint is doing. The German Mint produces their coin. So I would love to see a German silver coin, a bullion coin. I think that would be great for as important as they are in precious metals. I think they're the second largest holder of gold. It would be nice to see them actually produce a silver bullion coin with no denomination on it. Honestly, I think you don't really need one. In fact, it really, in my view, it's really not needed on any other than on any coin that's produced, other than just being relegated and backed by the government. But look at the Libertad doesn't have a denomination on it. Neither does the Krugerrand. I think those are fine examples that I think other mints could take, because there's more to silver than just its price, and there's more to silver than just its face value. No question about that. So, fascinating story. Let me know what your thoughts are. It just goes to show you that this is one of the results of the bull run that we've been seeing with silver that has now since pulled back slightly. But could it pick up pace again? We shall see. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch, and to encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.